We're keeping guys in front because then we don't get caught in those rotations where they're kicking out to a wide open three-point shooter. We don't have to overhelp. But like I said, it's the first game. It's going to be nice to go back and actually see a game on film and really learn from that and really just go forward based off that.
What should we make of the 1-13 shooting on threes? Can you put that in perspective?
I wouldn't make a big deal out of it. I mean, if anybody comes by and watches the practice of ours, they'll see that that's not a reflection of the shooters that we have on our team. So going forward, I mean, I think that's just something that happened as far as it being a first game or whatever. I can't really equate it to anything, but I just know that I wouldn't expect to see many more games like that from behind the line.
So much. One other thing for me, a Kansas player was saying yesterday, I think it was yesterday, that the team they have number one in the polls, and they have to win the championship or the season's a failure. How well does that reflect what you guys think for your team?
I don't think that's something that we've really put in our heads or put that weight on our shoulders. I think the biggest thing as far as looking at the season as a whole is going by day. Our biggest focus this week was getting ready for this game and trying to prepare ourselves and get better, and then it's going to be the next game. I think when you start putting big picture things like that in your head too quick, I think that kind of overlooks the small steps that you have to take throughout the season.
Reid, with so much hype about this team and as well as you guys played in the Bahamas, do you think in some ways this was kind of perfect for Calipari, kind of to have a game where he can have plenty to nitpick you guys over and continue to use to motivate guys and show you that, hey, we're not a finished product?
Yeah, I mean, it's always good whenever you can go out there and find things that you need to work on and get humbled a little bit, but I don't think that's an issue that we have on our team. I think we got a lot of guys that are very humble, very level-headed, as far as guarding the ball, working on rotations. I mean, all things that we've been working on in practice a lot, but it's nice once you actually get to play against another team and it's a uncontrolled setting as far as what they're running and having to adjust on the fly and things like that. So for us, I'd just say the biggest thing is defense and just continue just to grow and get better at that.
Reid, what is your typical day as a grad student and a basketball player? I don't think most people kind of understand what you do daily, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot more relaxed than it was as an undergrad student. When I was at Stanford, I was in class basically all day, just like my teammates are right now. They're in a lot of classes and tutors and things like that, and your day kind of gets filled up. But for me, it's less class just because as a grad student, a lot of my classmates are working a 9 to 5 or have a family and things like that. So I'm in a rare situation where basketball kind of becomes my job in that sense. So I'm getting a lot of treatment, come in, do a lot of conditioning, lift weights, workouts, practice, and then I only have class twice a week at night. So a lot of free time to myself, but it's been good. I mean, I've been filling my days up, just trying to become better, basically.
Can you kind of compare how much more time you have here at Kentucky compared to when you were an undergrad? You know, even?
I would say now it's not as much. The gap's not as big just because I'm finding ways to fill that time, if that makes sense. I'm getting more treatment than I've ever got as far as just trying to take care of my body and keep it healthy. I'm in the weight room a lot more, working on my conditioning a lot more. So those times where maybe I would have had to go do a group project or be in class, now I can really just focus on basketball and really just focus on myself. And then at nights I have to go to class and do things like that.
How much has that helped you, improve your game?
It's helped me a lot. I mean, just being able to put the time in, I think there's no shortcomings for that when you're able to put the hours in and really just fine-tune and focus on things. It's helped me a lot, and you can definitely see the changes.
I think y'all had 60-something points in the paint tonight. Was that just a function of who you were playing against, you think, or is that something you'll look to do to kind of, control a game in such a way the rest of the way?
I think that's something you'll see all season as far as, maybe not at that level, but as far as just an emphasis of getting the ball in the paint and trying to attack guys at that point. Cal's made it obvious that we have a lot of talent down there, and we feel like we have a mismatch a lot of times when we get the ball down there. So a lot of times in the season, a lot of our sets and things like that are predicated on getting the ball in the paint, getting fouled, getting easy layups and stuff like that down low. So I think you'll see that moving forward.
You said a couple weeks ago you're not a real vocal guy on the court, but how much do you talk to these younger guys and try to teach them, I guess, off the court or on the bench or whenever you get an opportunity?
I don't know if I said I wasn't vocal on the court. I think I'm the most vocal right now on the court. But off the court, I mean, I'm always trying to talk to them as far as what we need to do and give them little tidbits. And I've been doing that a lot more now the last couple of weeks, and that's just something I've been trying to be on myself about. Is really trying to talk them through things. I think I sometimes just assume that they know and just assume that they've been through it before, but they haven't as far as defenses and anything that I can do to help them. And it helps me too when we're all on the same page. So just trying to talk more with everybody.
What are you saying on the court? If you're
on the court is just trying to talk as much as I can. I think that's the biggest thing with a young team and younger guys is that say something. It doesn't necessarily have to be right or not, but tell guys that you're in help or that you're running up to a ball screen or whatever, what direction you're putting the offensive guy. So just saying something all the time. So I think if I'm continuing out there just screaming stuff out, screaming coverages, that it's going to click to where we have 5 guys doing it, and then you got a good defensive team.
Last one, guys.
Is there any, you said just say something. I mean, is there any times where your guys are just like yelling something out or just
just
talking?
Just yell, help, ball. I mean, there's always something you could say in the flow of a basketball game. There's never a point to where you're just in no man's land, not giving directions to where you're at. And I think that's when we mature as a team, you'll start to realize that it's not just the people guarding the ball that need to be talking, but help sides, you need to be giving directions and things like that. And, I mean, we've watched a lot of films on some good teams, and everybody's talking and doing that.
What teams were those? Were you guys watching?
We've watched a lot of the Golden State Warriors lately, just as far as how they scramble out of ball screens and things like that. And Draymond Green's a perfect example of it. You don't even have to turn the sound on when you watch film to know that he's shouting. I mean, his mouth guard's almost falling out of his mouth the whole game because he's pointing and talking and getting guys in the right direction. And that's a championship team, and it's obvious why they're able to win the way they are is because you have guys like that.
Has Cal talked to you about wanting you to be more vocal or be the most vocal?
He hasn't specifically pointed me out or anything like that, but that's just something I'm going to try and bring every time.